At the T-minus 3-minute mark, tape recorders on board the spacecraft were turned on. These recorders record both voice and data. We have ignition sequence start. The engine's now building up to 7.7 million pounds of thrust. We have a launch commit and we have a liftoff. Moving back. The Saturn V lifting off the power.
Back. This is the Rocket Shop. I'm your host Tom Proctor, and with me now is Homebrew. How's it going, guys?
Pretty well. How you doing?
I'm not too bad. Would you like to introduce yourselves?
I am Andy. I'm the guitar player, and
I'm Becca. I have a violin here.
she plays all the other interesting stuff.
I was going to say there's a number of instruments here. It's we've got guitar, violin, and
Flute and tin whistle.
flute and tin whistle, and then I also see down there is a looper.
We're gonna try to do some live looping as well.
Oh, this is going to be interesting.
I hope so.
The last lot was quite experimental. I feel like this lot is experimental in an entirely different way.
I thought it was like a theme. You guys planned it like that. No?
Every single week.
Yeah.
Well, as we always like starting with a song. So would you guys like to introduce something and then take it away?
This one is called "Alone in a Crowded Room."
All right.
For a walk today in the middle of the afternoon, I didn't have a thing to say, I didn't have a thing to do. So we're waiting on a summer rain. See, the world today ain't nothing but a plastic thing. You got something to say, gotta put it on a little screen. All alone in a crowded room. And all these crazy lives move faster than a ray of light, no stronger than a blade of grass. And all these ties that bind, forever gonna come undone, ain't never gonna be the same. As we strut and fret these lives, tale is gonna end, my friend. All alone in a crowded room. I see the cars drive by, got people on the telephone. I see my TV screen, baby, I feel like I ain't home alone. All alone in a crowded room. didn't have a thing to do. Except waiting on a summer rain.
Alone in a Crowded Room there by Homebrew. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
So I would let's start from the beginning here. You guys began since 2010. Am I correct there?
We've been together
2003?
2003. So you've been playing since 2003.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh wow. So that's quite a lengthy amount of time. When people say early 2000s now, I've jogged my memory and realised that it's actually getting close to 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you guys meet? And is it always just been the two of you, or has there been more people coming and going? How's it happened?
Well, we met. I was at a kind of open mic, open jam in Florida at this coffee house, and Becca was performing next door, and she came by afterwards, and
We got to talking and we liked the same music.
yeah, yeah.
So I think I had just come to town after a long break and oh, sorry, is this better?
That is better.
Oh. We've had different projects, separate projects,
Yeah.
in addition to this one for the longest time. But
I think we started out. We had kind of we had a Celtic music project and we had a jazz project, and they kind of became the same project
Right.
after a few number of years, and then our original stuff kind of got thrown in the mix as well.
All right, so it's kind of like morphed and meandered and
It has,
evolved
yeah.
in the years.
Absolutely, yeah.
yes,
I was going to say, so the three genres that you profess to being part of is Americana, Celtic, and jazz. One of those is not like the others. So how does kind of jazz get thrown into this?
I think that comes from my background. It also comes from kind of like a lot of the chord choices that we use. We do some of our Celtic stuff. We try to come up with different kind of reharmonizing or different ideas of.
a lot of these Celtic songs, they were written before we used standard chord progressions that we do today. And it's amazing how different a tune can sound when you have jazz chords or Americana chords underneath it. That's a whole nother flavor.
Right. And I did read that you guys are newish to Vermont, and obviously you'd be talking about meeting Florida. So do you split the year between the two, or are you now full Vermonters?
We are. I don't know if we're full Vermonters, but we are here full time. Yeah, we've been here just shy of 2 years now. So
Okay, that's a solid. You've seen two winters.
two
which
winners.
is
Yeah.
usually-
Yeah.
if you've not run after the first one, then that's usually
It was
indication you're
snowing.
gonna stick around.
When we drove here tonight, so
yeah. I noticed it was. It's been a weird day, very spring-like. Yeah, that's a big difference, though, isn't it? Florida to Vermont. What prompted the move?
I got into a school here.
Oh.
So,
Congrats.
thanks.
And how is it translated in terms of the music you're creating? Is it you find yourself creating more brooding or maybe deeper music up here in comparison to Florida, or have you not seen too much of a change? Or
I think right now the music's been kind of taking a back seat, so there's been a lot of playing the old stuff, but not too much new stuff. I think I tried to write a song the other day, but it was horrible, so it was
We've
still boring.
been adding more pop songs and
Yeah.
more modern music
Right.
to our general sets.
okay. Well, I'd love to hear another song.
Okay.
Or would you like to introduce one?
Sure. This one is called Haley.
Flowers that slumber so
Haley's flying way up high, but whoa, high, whoa, high. Haley's flying reach across the sky. Whoa, whoa, high. Whoa, whoa. I can't fly. I can't fly. Though I'm lying half awake in bed, with echoes from what she said. Oh, shadows sprinkle stardust in your eye, reflecting all her sighs. Oh, and though I'm lying half asleep in bed, with echoes from what she said. Whoa, shadows sprinkle stardust in your eye, reflecting from her skies. Oh, and I can't fly. I can't fly. I can't fly. I can't fly. Though I'm lying half asleep in bed, remembering what she said. Whoa, that'll sprinkle stardust in your eyes, remembering all her lies. Oh, and though I'm lying asleep in bed, remembering what she said. Oh, shadows sprinkle sawdust in my eye, remembering all her sighs. Oh, I can't lie. I can't fly. I can't fly. I can't fly.
Haley there by Homebrew. So I'd love to talk a little bit about this looping pedal. So did you guys start off with the looping pedal? Is this something that came in at the beginning, or has this been introduced over time?
No, the looping pedal was something that I was using kind of in a solo thing project I had going, and it was kind of a conscious. We were trying to figure out how to do more with what we had, ways to add things in and make it more interesting. And
I was jealous.
so it's been like I have this looper, I have another one at home. There was a third one that I just finally sold, and there was a fourth one before that. So this is actually like the third out of 4.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So you've gone through them a little bit.
Yeah, we're trying to find the right thing has been kind of a.
And so,
journey.
I mean, I love the way that you can obviously bring in more than one or two instruments into this. What is it that what you're looking for when you're creating these loops? How do you build a song through these loops?
That's actually the song that we just played. I think was the first one that we started messing with, trying to add
right.
multiple instrument loops to, and so it kind of started with, and it was abandoned for a while because we could not figure out
how to
do
live.
it until we came up with the intro where we're starting at a different spot in the song to put that where the loop begins and ends into.
Right.
And then from there it was we kind of came up with I had a guitar solo that I had written out that we turned into the flute solo, and then we kind of came up with the fiddle rhythms and things and where they went on the way to going to record it, or like the day before we went to we
We have a
recorded
bad
it.
habit of that,
Yeah.
writing the songs for the day before we record them.
we had studio time, and we were like, we got to
Yes.
come up with and so we
Yes, I
did.
have these instruments. I need to use them.
yes.
So.
Have you got your full set of instruments here, or do you have more in your repertoire?
Oh no, we have a bunch more at home. We have a mandolin and a melodica, and you have a harmonica,
Yeah.
and I have a bass somewhere. And I also have a really cool thing, an octavizer
Oh,
pedal.
what's an optimizer?
It means I can play my flute or my violin, and you hear a double bass.
Huh.
Instead, it's a lot of fun to be plucking on my violin and have people looking around. It's
Right.
amazing.
Trying to find that big old double bass.
Yes.
And I mean, you're a mean fiddler. Do you come from a background? Did you take music at university, or is this something that you learned from a kid?
I did go to music school, but not on violin. I went on flute.
Ah.
With the violin, my grandmother found an old violin underneath her stairs, and I thought, this is great. I'm going to learn to play. And I was living in Tallahassee, and there was a local Irish session that met twice a month, and that's where I learned to play violin.
I would say the Irish in Florida is not two things you would expect. I mean, a lot of people burning skin-wise. Anyway.
Actually, Tallahassee has a very strong Irish music scene there,
Oh, there
or at
we
least they
go.
did in the 90s.
Oh. Well, the more you know. And so you said you just mentioned that you've got a bad habit of coming up with songs just before you or coming up with sections of songs just before you get into the recording studio. What's that looking like at the moment? You say you're not really writing very much, but you have had 3 albums out. Is that correct?
I think they're more like they're collections. They're not
Collections.
really albums. I've tried to, as you looked at our website, I tried to organize everything together, and that's the way the website wanted me to do it.
Okay.
So
We've been playing together for so long, and we've played so many different styles. We've played an all jazz show, or an all classical show, or all covers show. And what we found is that people would go to our website, look at the first 3 songs, and not realize, oh yeah, we can do these other things too.
right.
So we thought having separating the different genres into their own quote times albums.
Right.
I want to call them flights. I think that.
Because
Flights.
homebrew,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. I
Yes.
suppose that would make more sense. And so you got 3 collections, or at least 3 genres. Have you ever thought about bringing in a 4th? Do you experiment around with trying to do, I don't know, jam or
We've got
death
some
metal?
No, No.
What would you call?
we've got some Celtic, what we're calling Celtic jazz, where
Yeah.
it is like a straight Celtic melody, and then there's jazz improvisation over top of it, and kind of jazz feel to it. But it's not finished yet.
It's not finished on our
Yeah.
next
Right.
set of recordings.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. We've also tried some things where we take we try and pair songs and tunes you probably wouldn't match together again. Like
We
with
did
the,
Rocks in the Box, which is like this who did the Decemberists tune, along with Land Down Under. It was like a big mashup that we did. So
yeah, and we did the Star Trek theme with that
Star
Blue
Trek and
Bossa,
Blue Bossa was another
which
one.
goes
that-
together really well.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Well, I'd love to hear one of them if you guys have got one in the old box of tricks there. Or unless you've got something else planned, of course.
Yeah. I think what we're gonna do our third song that we brought along is another one of our original tunes, and this one has some looping for the tin whistle on it.
All right. Well, wonderful. Would you like to introduce it?
Yeah, this is called Stars.
All right, take it away.
at night when the moon ain't shining bright. Sun's closed her eyes and gone to bed. I look to the stars and the skies up above, and I'm wondering which way is home. These days it seems that I travel alone, hands to the wheel and my eyes to the road. I follow a path that I read in a book that somebody gave me long ago. Sailors, they say, when they're lost out at sea, can find their way home by the light of the stars. But all that I see when I look up at night are these lights that look really far away.
Fantastic. Well, that's unfortunately about all we've got time for. But before you guys go, anything you'd like to plug? Where do you play? Is
yeah.
anything we should expect from you?
We have a show coming up at Idle Time Brewing on the 12th.
12th.
The 12th, so that's coming up for us.
Oh, wonderful. And well, I hope to see you kicking around in the summer as well. Burlington's a pretty bouncing in the summer, so
Awesome.
you guys should get out to a few of the bars around here.
All
Looking
right.
forward to it.
Well, thank you again once more for coming in. Really
Thank you.
appreciate it. Next week we've got Miku Daza, which we've been anticipating for a while now. Looking forward to seeing them. This has been 105.9 Radiator, the Rocket Shop. I've been your host, Tom Proctor, and until next week, good night.